Corey Feldman is back at it again, but instead of it just being one singular new song, we have a whole ass EP that is dedicated to the work of the Beatles. Or so Corey says. Or so he'll have you to believe. Make no mistake, these songs sound nothing like the Beatles. It's cute that Corey thinks he can be this Renaissance man of sorts who possesses the ability to just copy any style of any band that he likes and just successfully bring it to fruition. But no, this is an embarrassing attempt to bite off the legacy of a band you have no business even holding a candle to. Just going off the photoshopped album art alone, it speaks volumes. There are various pins on his Michael Jackson fedora that are supposed to represent the four members of the Beatles with John, Paul, George, and Ringo. You also have the License to Drive shades to still remind people that Corey Feldman was in a few successful movies over 30 years ago, and conveniently, this is all in the heels of the Feldog being a part of this season's Dancing with the Stars.
Maybe I should buy some old tab collars, welcome back to the age of child.
You know, honestly, I'd rather see Corey in this capacity as an actor of sorts rather than some washed-up D-list celeb who is trying their hand at music, especially one that is trying to write original music that is supposed to sound like the Beatles. Stick around as I analyze Corey Feldman's new EP, Evolutions, 22 for 4. This is Dancing with Ghosts. So the album title is pretty obvious as a follow of Corey lore. Corey lore! 22 is his magical number. There were 4 members of the Beatles, and Evolutions, I guess, implies that he is taking you through all the various phases of the Beatles' career musically. Well, he fails on all accounts, so let's dive into the songs. The album starts off with random crowd noise and some kind of boogie-woogie style rock guitar until eventually a voice that sounds like some kind of a knockoff impersonation of John Lennon says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Fab Four."
Ladies and gentlemen, the Fab Four. And ladies and gentlemen, love it.
And then right after that, for some reason, you have Corey Feldman yelling, "Ladies and gentlemen, the beat," and then it awkwardly cuts off into a Corey Feldman monologue that is almost like some kind of commentary track you'd find as like a DVD bonus feature. I guess my first question would be, why would John Lennon be introducing the Beatles when he's in the Beatles? Secondly, this commentary part, it's only 25 seconds, but it's already such an awkward start to this EP with Corey mentioning, "Greg and I are big fans." Okay, who's Greg?
I mean, we love the Beatles, you know, we're Greg and I are big fans, you know. So.
I mean, I sadly know who Greg is. If you're the average person giving this album a listen, you're already going to be confused at this point. Greg Sarciano is Corey's right-hand man who basically comes up with all of the music and executes all of the songs in the studio. I guess Corey just assumed at this point the only people who are listening to this are people aware of the lore. Either way, this is a half-baked intro and a very bizarre way to start an album. But with Corey, one must learn to expect the unexpected. In a bad way. Track number 2, Retro Rock.
Bring back the music that we used to love. Music makes me soar like the wings of love. And that's why we're taking you back to the start.
I gotta say, I hate this sound. This boogie-woogie rock and roll shit was the lamest version of rock music. Maybe it's more tolerable when Bill Haley and his Comets do it.
When the clock strikes 2, 3 and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more.
But this is Corey Feldman attempting the genre.
This music just ain't got the sound. Sound that makes your body want to get down. Nobody's writing music from the soul. This could be right.
From the over-exaggerated vocal inflections to that stock-ass boogie bass riff, this song sounds like something Corey would have done in one of his lame-ass 90s movies like Rock and Roll High School Forever or, I don't know, Meatballs 4. Why not? At the end of the song, we continue with the Beatles theme with a bunch of cartoony Beatles impersonations praising the song as if the Beatles would have ever released something this corny in stock.
Something like that. I don't know. But I liked it.
I may not be the biggest Beatles fan in the world, but at least those guys knew how to write an original song that could stand the test of time. The next track we have Everything Away, in parentheses, A-E-A-E-A-E.
Magic in the air, the first time I caught your stare.
This song is easily something I could have seen being on Corey's original Love Left album back in '94. It sounds more like a Flaming Lips song than it does a Beatles song. It tries too hard to lean into the psychedelic era of the Beatles, which quite honestly did not and does not define what most people like about the Beatles. Yes, the Beatles went to India at some point in their career and dropped acid with the Maharishi and then wrote some shit with the sitars. But when taking into account their entire lore, this period was quite negligible compared to the songs the Beatles are most known for. It's often a misconception that this psychedelic period was more of a factor in the band's career than it actually was. Where are the Penny Lane knockoffs, the Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, the Hold My Hand knockoffs? Hell, even a Day in the Life knockoff would have been appreciated. But I think Corey views the Beatles as a band that had silly voices and expansive psychedelic experimentations, while neglecting or not acknowledging that this was a pop band that wrote good songs first and foremost.
We are all just characters in each other's lives.
Next, we get to characters. I've already made a whole ass video covering this song. This was the awful AI music video song that is in keeping with the whole psychedelic Beatles era crap that Corey thinks defines this band. Track number 5, I'm a Mess. I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be. Corey's voice has never sounded more worn out and undercooked than on this track.
I can't leave you when you...
He tries hard to have different epic moments on this EP, but my god does it fall so short. None of these songs would have even been considered as proper dedications or even facsimiles of Beatles songs. Just your typical delusional Corey fare with constipated Gene Simmons vocals still intact.
Not sure what I have left, but I love you and I need you.
These are the songs of a wannabe trying to crib another, more successful artist's style and failing miserably. This shit just gets more and more shameful as the EP goes on.
It's true, it's true.
The last track, we're just gonna call it Love for now. The last song on this EP, by the way, has some of the most hideous title labeling. This shit looks like some HTML/MS-DOS command prompt ass titling. I guess in this era of song streaming, it really doesn't matter how you format the title of a song, but this just really pisses me off. LOVE in all caps. It's true, parentheses, love, / oh yeah, get some, parentheses, love, / we shall overcome, parentheses, LOVE in all caps. This song tries to have multiple movements, but ultimately just sounds like your typical shitty-ass Corey Feldman song. I don't know why this Greg Sasciano guy wants to hitch his buggy to this project, but he'd be better off using his talents elsewhere. I think in some delusional universe, Corey Feldman sees himself as peers to the Beatles, so why not try to emulate them? In his delusional mind, he can do anything musically that he wants to. Sometimes it feels like he makes these songs knowing that people like myself and the Jim and Them crowd are the only people who are going to listen to them regardless. Despite that, this song is garbage, and I don't even feel like telling you why, because at this point, if you've been paying attention, everything the Fell Dog does is going to be garbage. Like I said, he never fails to fail. So, as bad as his recent Dancing with the Stars performance was, at least he was in his element. He was acting and performing in a medium he is familiar with and is better suited to, quite frankly. I just hate when these celebrities try their hand at music when they honestly have no right to do so. Corey Feldman has also voiced opinions that Pink Floyd has also been a big influence to him and that he may attempt to honor them in the future with an album similar to this one. God, I hope not, but I will be there nonetheless because this kind of shit fascinates me. Anyway, what was your opinion on Corey's latest debacle? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, have a good rest of your night.